People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Now, I'm recording this on the eve of the Euro 2024 final, in which Spain and England will do business. May the best team win. Obviously, it could be Spain's day, man, because you obviously see Carlos win at Wimbledon. Could the Spanish men's national team give Spanish supporters, more reasons to celebrate? Hopefully, England do this. It is what it is. But where that's concerned, again, Ramsdale's been linked with Southampton. We've apparently agreed a deal via David Ornstein's article for another goalkeeper. And we've been linked with Gooner, Joao Felix, and the numerous names that are consistently linked with our football club have been linked with us once again, people. So if I just share my screen and we crack on, we can get exactly into business. Now, big up you lot for tuning in, as I've already said, or haven't made clear. Now, David Ornstein has said, Arsenal have reached an agreement with Ajax to sign goalkeeper Tommy Setford. The clubs had been in discussions over a deal that would see the England under-20 international switch to the Emirates Stadium this summer. Those discussions have now produced a compromise on a fee in the region of €1 million plus add-ons, and Setford is expected to sign an initial 4-year contract. Hopefully, there's an option of a fifth for the 18-year-old. Again, it has been previously reported that we were dealing with Ajax for Tommy Setford, second Ajax player really after Timber to join us in recent years, and it continues that decent relationship we've got. Now, we know, as it says here, we've let a whole bunch of goalkeepers leave. We know we've actually brought in a Danish goalkeeper in our academy, and big up our under-21s for winning against Bournemouth yesterday, actually, or whoever they played. I didn't watch it, but I saw it online. And we need to recruit at youth level. It's as simple as that. Now, many people probably say, one, I just want to hear signings for the first team. And, we've technically signed, David Raya to a new deal. We could sign 2 goalkeepers for the first team. So it seems like we've got a bit of a fetish for this. And then the second thing most people are probably saying is Setford. David Raya isn't going anywhere soon. It's not like he's 38 years of age. Obviously, Aaron Ramsdale's an England international. I mean, in an ideal world, I'm sure Arsenal would hope that he's quote unquote happy to stay as the number 2. Obviously, we don't need to get into specifics there. Them two are ahead of you, essentially, in the pecking order. Now, you've come through at Ajax. Obviously, Arsenal could have a development plan for you. You could progress all the way to the first team in some capacity. I reckon he's thinking of a thing where, I'll go into Arsenal, learn what I need to learn on top of the education I've had at Ajax, and then look to, make inroads into the men's national team, into the men's game, people, because it looks like the pathway is quite blocked. And Arsenal probably saying, if he develops into a goalie of some stature, great, we could potentially turn this €1 million initial investment into, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 potentially one day. Obviously, we've brought in David Raya, as I've said. We know Aaron Ramsdale's future is subject to speculation, and apparently we did have a bid rejected by Wolves for their goalkeeper, and ironically, ex-Arsenal academy goalkeeper Dan Bentley. So we'll have to see how these things progress, really and truly. So yeah, man, big him up, man. Welcome to the carpet. Now, again, this man called Dan King apparently works for the Sun and whatnot, people, and his bio says, come for the football clickbait, stay for the whatever. So I guess you respectfully, take everything he's saying with a pinch of salt. Obviously, with the Euros ending today, people, at the time of making this video, then we can see some sort of conclusion over Aaron Ramsdale's future. He probably leaves the football club. Southampton are weighing up a move for Aaron Ramsdale and are prepared to step up their interest when he returns from Euro 2024. If Ramsdale is to leave this summer, Arsenal would prefer a permanent deal and would want close to the 30 million they paid in 2021. Now, that's also a bit weird, because yesterday or the day before, there was rumors that Arsenal don't want him to leave, but we're not against him going out on loan, playing games and putting himself in the shop window. Arsenal may be prepared to let Ramsdale go on loan in the hope of his performances would generate a big fee in the future. Southampton are likely to favour the loan option, although matching his 120 a week wages, grand a week wages, would make him the highest paid player at the club. You'd imagine Arsenal would want to be fairly, compensated on such wages if he was to leave on loan. DiMarzio, I had to pause it, obviously, the video there. DiMarzio and Calafiori said Bologna want €50 million plus bonuses. Arsenal is a bit less in their offer, but I think they'll do the deal. In his mind, it's only Arsenal. Even Chelsea tried to get him. Arsenal is considered the perfect step in his career. Welcome to the club, people. Romano has spoken and said as well, people, if it all goes through, it should be a superb signing for Arsenal, as Calafiori is an excellent defender. He can play centre-back or left-back, has an excellent left foot, can provide assists and score goals, as he did for Bologna last season. Quality is the best word to describe him. He's a centre-back, but has the quality to help the squad build up like midfielders, in line with obviously what Arteta wants in the inverted role. Now, again, people, this won't translate into English, but this article is mostly just getting at the fact that Arsenal are looking at Mikel Moreno, and those rumours won't go away, people. Simultaneously, you know, the same publication has said, you know, Joao Felix has been offered to Premier League clubs, and Arsenal and Mikel Arteta are said to be monitoring developments. I can't say I believe that. You lot let me know your thoughts on Joao Felix, and is that someone we need to go for? Again, people, we've also been linked with Girona winger Victor Treganskov. Forgive me for mispronunciation. The Ukrainian has been linked with us before. Arsenal and Newcastle have both received information on the Ukrainian international, who has a 30 million euros release clause in his contract. And apparently Aston Villa, who are signing quite a lot of players, people, and none of the latest, and AC Milan are said to be watching that. Apparently he's open to a move to the Premier League, so it's fair game where that's concerned, people. So we'll move on from that. Team News and Ticks has said it wouldn't surprise me if Arsenal went back in for Bruno Gomares later in the window. It would be amazing, but you know, one, you're gonna have to pay a big fee, an important fee, if you are to prize him away from Newcastle. And I'm sure Mikel Arteta, Bruno Gomares, Newcastle, and Arsenal, they wouldn't want it to drag on, really. You know, one thing that I think Arteta has been big on in the last 2 years is getting signing-ins early and integrating them into the first team and into the Arsenal way of life as quick as possible. Team News and Ticks has also said, people, Eze to Arsenal is something to watch, but nothing can happen until after the Euros, which after today will not be a thing. Arsenal still want Nico Williams. It's expected he goes to Barcelona, but should that not happen, Arsenal are positioned to move for him. Just seems like we're doing our due diligence. We have been linked with Joao Felix and Rafinha. Purple Panel has said, you know, Arsenal are not considering the possibility of either player. Mikel Arteta has no interest in bringing either player to the Emirates, folks. What have we got here? I mean, I think this just seems to be a new news piece. Once again, people, Sky Germany is saying Barcelona want to sign Nico Williams, and there's still interest from Arsenal in a 22-year-old, people, who has a 52 million release clause. Tommy Setford is set to undergo a medical early next week ahead of completing his move to Arsenal, says Fabrizio Romano, people. Big up Callum Chambers for finding a new club. He's joined Cardiff and links up again with Aaron Ramsey, apologies. Tavares has arrived in Lazio ahead of completing the formalities of his permanent move, or loan move with an option to turn it permanent, or an obligation to Lazio. Marseille is still linked with Eddie Nketiah. It doesn't seem that that's come to anything. And the Arsenal first team boys are set to return to training on Monday. As we said, Moreno interest won't go away. We're looking at, you know, Garcia from Espanyol. We've been through a lot of this, people. So there you have that in that regard. Once again, Arsenal still want to sign Nico Williams, so we've gone over that. Arsenal could sign a striker, but only if there is a market opportunity and the price comes down, says Team News and Ticks, people. Antonio Conte on Osimhen has said, I spoke to Victor and there are no changes on his situation. He's a top player. He's a Napoli player today, so he needs to work hard, even if an agreement for his potential exit. And we still don't know the outcome of this story, which we don't, because he hasn't come out and said, I'm staying at Napoli, or bids haven't been made or rejected from Napoli, or made by other clubs to be rejected. You know, Marseille, once again, we've gone over that. I linked with Eddie Nketiah. Romano has spoken on our goalkeeping situation and said Arsenal could consider the possibility to bring in Bentley, or maybe another option like Garcia, who is really appreciated by Inaki Kanya, their goalkeeping coach. He already wanted to bring David Raya to the club, which was a very successful move, so they could also follow him once again when it's time to decide who is the player they want. I mean, standard procedures, essentially, people. Nico Williams, Eze, their names are still being linked. Onana, it seems, is going to Aston Villa, so that's someone that can't be linked with Arsenal anymore. You know, Onana and Douglas Luiz were, you know, bread and butter for a lot of publications to link us with players. Can't link us with them per se. Once again, according to Mundo Deportivo, we're looking at Joao Felix. We've been tipped by a former coach of KK of Napoli, you know, the Georgian international, to make a move for him. I don't think that will be something to even consider, because it's going to cost big money. 442 is linking us with Moreno and saying that while Gomares is the preferred option, it seems like this one's ramping up. So we'll have to see exactly what's going on in that regards. And again, once again, the boys are returning to pre-season training on Monday, so tomorrow at the time of making this vid. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on everything we've gone over, people. If there's any other emerging news, you know, I'll get videos out for you lot. But for now, it's all I've got, people. It's always a pleasure. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.